Jip, jip, ich lass mich heute Abend blicken. Ich komm gut geschmückt in den Laden geritten. Alle tanzen, die Damen sind echt entzückend. Ganzes Backblech voller Sahne.
Hey, happy Vlogmas Day 26. It's also my son's 23rd birthday. I can't even believe it. I'm so sorry that I gypped you out of a long video yesterday, but you were celebrating anyway. Certainly I was.
Let me be there in your morning. Let me be there in your night.
So I just posted a very short video. Today's will be longer. I'm going to talk a little bit about the technical stuff of what I use to vlog because my computer is back. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about a couple of drama subjects and chime in on those briefly because I think there's a couple of these subjects are getting exhausted, but I want to give my viewers my take on them briefly. So my computer came back today and missed all of the festivities, and I was really happy to turn it on again and use it. But while I had been editing on my son's computer, I realized that his older software for editing was much better than the more expensive Vegas stuff I was using. I don't like it very much. For one thing, mine I have to convert to MP4, otherwise when I trim the video that I drop in, it will shift the audio and the video, so then they're out of sync, and there's no way around that with what I'm using. And the only way I found to avoid it altogether was to convert my video to MP4 before I put it or imported it into the Movie Studio Creator. And it was really inconvenient because that takes a little bit of time too. And I just said, this is not happening on the Adobe. I would go into the Adobe Elements, Premiere Elements 12, and it was just, you know, schling bing done. And I thought, this is really convenient. Now, this is an older system, so it thinks that there's a 10-minute restriction on YouTube, but a very simple way around it, and a very much faster way to upload, was to publish it to your desktop and make it compatible with the YouTube SD widescreen. That matched this 1080 that I'm using, and so it was much faster to upload, and that allowed me to get my Vlogmases out with a lot less worry. And I was still doing it very quickly because I was on my son's computer and I didn't want to be in there very long, but I noticed there were a lot of great editing tools that I could be using, that I could be improving my editing on, and I enjoy editing. That's a large part of why I like vlogging. So I hope to do, after Vlogmas is over, I can take a little more time on the quality and the editing of my videos, and I'm looking forward to that. And I'm still going to work on my learning curve with the Movie Studio Vegas Studio Platinum, but for now I find that there's lots of bells and whistles on this Adobe that will make my videos what I want them to be. So that's good news. And to have my computer back is just great. I'm back in the guest room vlogging, but I hope to have some, you know, photo stills and some scripting and things that will just make vlogging more enjoyable for me. Not necessarily to grow my channel, but to build a body of work that I'm proud of, so that I'm happy to share. Certainly there's value in having to vlog every day and having to not be such a perfectionist about what you say. There's value in that, absolutely. But pretty soon we'll be back to fairy lights and much better editing. So that's that on the my feeling about Adobe Premiere Elements versus Movie Studio Platinum Creator, or Platinum 14 with Vegas. So on to the drama front. Everybody's talking about James Charles's tweet. Have you heard about this? He tweeted that he would like to have a good demonetization to suck for Christmas, TBH. And people were kind of freaking because he has a young audience. Is it appropriate? Is it inappropriate? You know, you just can't always get away with the stuff that Jeffree Star does. Nobody really knows why Jeffree Star gets away with it, but James Charles is not Jeffree Star. And I don't think people wanted to hear that from him. In fact, nobody really wants to hear that from Jeffree Star, I think, too. I think sometimes these people with their TMI, it's like, you know, I'm not saying you have to keep this a perfectly clean family show. I know I'm older and I'm getting to be more of a curmudgeon about these things, but I want to hear the pornographic details of your sex life publicly. I don't know. Maybe it's becoming, you know, it's the norm, but I feel like an old lady when I see this stuff, and I'm like, in my day, we kept our mouths shut about what went into our mouths. Except your closest friends. We didn't have Twitter, we didn't have the internet, but I don't know a whole lot of people who would feel comfortable in conversation saying that they were looking to suck on a good demonetization. Oh, I know what you mean, June. I know, it's like they're just jumping right in my mouth. I hear ya. In fact, they asked me on a recent job, what are my weaknesses? And I said, cocaine and cock. Those are my weaknesses. Demonetized. Anyway, my feeling about that is I don't want to hear anything that kid has to say, raunchy or not, so I really probably shouldn't even speak on it because I'm not going to be fully objective because I find him obnoxious anyway. Not a big fan of liars and his disgusting sisters. So there's that. And then there was the issue, everybody's talking still about Lorelei and Trisha Paytas because I guess the guy who's the boyfriend of the guy who had the party, Mr. Something, I'll put his name up here, he had a video in which he said basically that he felt that you should be direct. Even though he wasn't mentioning any names, he felt that people should be direct with one another. This is the first time I've ever seen this guy on a video, and I was like, are you stupid? What are you saying? You're telling everybody they should be direct, and he used to have hate, but this is bad. Like, he's been guilty of putting hateful tweets, but this is bad. Isn't it interesting how when it's somebody else, like when it's Trisha Paytas, all of a sudden you shouldn't be hateful, even though he's giving you the disclaimer that he's done it too. But she shouldn't do it. And she didn't even tweet anything that bad. Don't make me stick up for Trisha Paytas, for frick's sakes. And Lorelei getting the laptop, it's like, or getting the tablet and giving it away on her giveaway. Please don't tell me that's not tacky. If you think that's not tacky, then there is a huge gap in manners that the next generation just hasn't learned. I can't believe the stuff people have to consider whether or not it's rude. It's like, of course that is rude. Of course that's tacky. What do you need people to tell you that for? I don't get it. Anyway, I think I'm over that whole thing. I'm sick of hearing people robbing from the rich and giving to the rich. At least, I guess maybe somebody who needed it got it. So that's a pretty good thing. But yeah, Lorelei is, I don't think she's evil. I think she's just clueless. I don't know if she like maybe grew up in a bubble or something, but she does seem to be rather clueless and young. And there could be a time, a lot of these people who do this stuff on the internet, they could look back in 20 years and go, oh, I can't even look. I'm cringing. I can't look. So you never know. Nobody is really beyond redemption, except for a couple people. Anyway, thanks so much if you've listened and watched this far. I'm enjoying Vlogmas. It's almost coming to a close. Tomorrow I think I'm going to talk about another year in review person and how, if at all, they have changed. So thank you again and have a good night.